Still not high enough. Here is an AP Human Geography. There goes the idea pad. Oh no. Alright. If this isn't tall enough, I don't know what is. Here's an art book. Learn how to draw. With me. Better. Maybe. Nope, still not tall. Gonna need the entire bookshelf for this one. Myths and legends. I've grown too tall for this world, apparently. Why is this channel called Stupid Art Online? First, we're going to drink some tea. That is a question that I used to get a lot when I was making this channel around 2016 when I originally changed the name from SAO Universe to Stupid Art Online. And really, to understand why the channel is the way that it is, we have to go back to the beginning of the channel in 2014 when I originally got a gaming PC and had too much free time on my hands. In fact, I would say I still have too much free time on my hands nowadays, but, you know, I think it's an interesting question to answer. There would be many comments asking me why I made this change. And the primary reason why people get it confused, why people get Stupid Art Online confused with other things is because, well, Stupid Art Online, that sounds a lot like Sword Art Online. And you'd be halfway correct if that was your initial thought going into this. The original channel's name, as mentioned before, was SAO Universe. Originally, that just meant Sword Art Online Universe. Now, if I was hoping to make the channel into anything larger than a fan community, why would I name it SAO Universe? Well, it all really began, once again, in 2013, when I was in the 4th grade. And I remember I was on the basement computer, which would run Minecraft at 14 frames per second, and I was playing a Flash game. I think it was something like Stick Wars, if anyone remembers that game, for whatever reason. And I saw this banner ad in the top corner that was advertising a Sword Art Online card game. Now, I don't know why. I don't exactly know what part of me on the inside said, that one. That is the one I need to click. But I did. Actually, I didn't click it per se. I was just like, what is Sword Art Online? So I went and I searched it up on YouTube. And what I found changed the rest of my life, apparently. I went to YouTube, I typed in Sword Art Online just to see what it was about. For some reason, the two anime characters, a boy and a girl with swords, captivated me. So I went to YouTube, I searched up Sword Art Online, and something strange happened here. I realized in retrospect this is not something that happens often, but the entire Sword Art Online series was uploaded and ready for view. All of the first half of Season 1, from Episode 1 to 14. Oops. My bad. 10, 4, 14. All of those episodes were up. And I decided to click on Episode 1. Then I decided to click on Episode 2. Then I decided to click on Episode 3, and eventually, I was speaking a little bit of Japanese. At least, that's the way I like to think about it. No, I still cannot recite the theme song in perfect Japanese here. But I watched that series, and it enthralled me. I didn't look at the comments at the time. I was not as vigilant in that regard, so I never really understood the hate behind it at the time in which I was hearing about it. Actually, I never really heard about it until 6th grade. So, I watched this series, and then my life kind of became based around it. I told my friends about it. We watched the anime together. We watched Season 1, Season 2. We liked both of them. We liked both theme songs there. We started drawing anime characters with really bad art, and that is how everything got started from there. And at the time, since this was 2014, YouTube was starting to kick off as a major thing that people could do for an occupation. And I was watching people at the time, like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, PewDiePie, all the favorites up there. And I just said, hey, what if I could do that? What if I could get to the top of YouTube with a YouTube channel? Because, you know, I play games, they play games, we can all play games. That should be fun. Let's do it. And since I now had this gaming PC, actually, at the age of 7, I would often take this basement computer and I would work to make videos using the technology from 2000, insert number here, I actually don't know at that point, but suffice it to say it was quite old. And it could only run games like Minecraft at 14 frames per second, and then you try and pair that with a screen recording option, and suddenly you're running at 6 frames per second. But at the time, it was sufficient. So I started there. I started building it up from there, using, you know, fraps, bandicam.com, insert watermark here, and all the like. Eventually, through making these attempts, I was gifted a gaming PC for the first time at the age of 9, and then mostly the floodgate was open from there. I can now run proper video editing, recording programs, and Photoshop to a degree. It was very astounding the first time when I could run Minecraft at 120 frames per second. That was a thing. That was a concept that was unknown to me at the time I used to record them. In fact, we used to fight. There were 2 computers in our house. There was one in the basement, and there was one upstairs. And the one upstairs, those from 2007, ran significantly better than the one downstairs, so we would always fight over the one upstairs. That's, what we called the gaming PC at the time, although it was normally just a normal desktop that we'd normally just install toolbars on and get it kind of hacked on accident. Whoops. Having this gaming PC, I decided to start a YouTube channel because my friend Luke had suggested the idea to me and wanted to make videos together. That was many years ago, but we started this off and we just called it SAO Universe because that was the most relevant thing in our lives at the time, and it was the thing that we were kind of hooked on. It was the anime that got me hooked into anime. It's the first thing that I watched that wasn't like Pokemon level of anime. So I suppose there should be a word, I think, for, if there isn't already, for one's nostalgia because it was the first one of something. But basically it had that type of effect on it. So we just named it SAO Universe because we were having fun at the time and we were experimenting. I was learning how to use the program Action at the time. I was experimenting with programs such as Sony Vegas Pro 11, and we made our start there. And as the channel progressed, and as I started getting a little bit more proficient at producing content, and if you go back there, if you look at the older era content, you will see what I presume to be absolute cringe at this point, but I have blocked it out of my memory, and I'm not going back there. So, but, you're free to go there if you'd like. You'll notice that directly there was a lot of Sword Art Online symbolism, I suppose. There was a lot of imagery there. You can see in the original introduction for the channel that there was Asuna and Kirito. The opening didn't have any audio at the time, and everyone was still kind of going off of the Herobrine myth at the time, so I put Herobrine in as part of the intro with lava. He threw lava, poorly animated lava, at the characters, and that was the intro. That was Sword Art Online Universe. Compact that with something of an animation my brother made for me later, and that was the start of this channel. As the channel progressed, my friend came up to me, and he asked about, hey, we've been using a lot of Sword Art Online things in order to promote this channel. Maybe we're going to be copyrighted. NANI? He thought that I was going to be copyrighted for putting SAO in the beginning of the channel. And at the time, I thought he was right. I thought, that seemed obvious to me. We're using a brand name that technically wasn't ours, and therefore we'd be copyrighted for it. So I made a decision sometime along after fighting with it, because I'd been calling, hello, my name is Benny200 from SAO Universe. Or is it SAO Universe Benny200 here? I don't know. I don't know anymore. So eventually I made the change to change it to StupidArtOnline. And originally, StupidArtOnline didn't actually have any meaning to it. It was just the first thing I could think off the top of my head that I was like, well, it kind of resembles the old thing, but it's technically different, so you can't copyright us, fools. So I started with that. StupidArtOnline. That's who we were now. I'll have to check later. Here's some text probably explaining when that was. But as I continued using the moniker StupidArtOnline, I had it take on something of a different meaning. Much more of a literal meaning at that. StupidArtOnline then became StupidArtOnline literally. What that means, effectively, is you have the 3 components. What we were producing, I didn't consider really overly funny, and at the time my video editing skills were still kind of so stupid. Because we were playing games, and people would watch us play games for a while, and I was like, why does anyone watch this? I mean, I'm glad that you're watching. I just maybe there's something better we could do with our time. But and then we had the art word. What that primarily meant in this context is that videos in themselves are something of an art form, and therefore, I suppose you could technically call it art. And the last part should be the most obvious of them all. Online. StupidArtOnline. It is stupid content, at least in my opinion. Technically art, and it's online. And really, that is the long and short of why this channel is called StupidArtOnline. I figure it's worth making a video about simply because it's a question that, as this channel continues to grow, if it continues to grow, may have to be clarified because Sword Art Online holds such a large presence here. So, that's all I really had to clarify up on this one. So, the question I would like to ask to you is, why did you subscribe to this channel? I know that, maybe like 100 of the people are probably just on and off people that I know, who I've talked to and who I've shown a few videos, who were intrigued and probably just put in a sub just because they know me. But I hazard to say that the 327 people can't all be my friends intrinsically. So, I'd like to know, why did you join? Alright, well, that's all I have for this 20-minute romp, I suppose. So, until we meet again, have a good day.